Bernie, just like last week, huh?
It's not drawn to the 90 degrees. It's drawn to the 45.
The lightning bolt's irrelevant to what we're talking. I know what you're saying, but it's not the lightning bolt that matters. It's how the energy flows from the lightning bolt to the ground.
Right. It's a potential difference from the sky to the ground. That's where the magic happens.
So where
the lightning was not provided. The lightning was not provided that angle, but it created that angle anyway.
So where are you tapping in for the energy when, like, okay, that bolt comes in and then you capture it with the antenna, and then it goes to the. But where are you then extracting it
You
from?
send it right to the ground.
In between
what you're doing, you're merging
the air and the ground. You put your collector.
Yeah, I understand that. But I'm asking, okay, so the wire goes into the ground, but where are you tapping? Is it before it goes into the ground, or are you doing like a split?
Before.
The ground wire goes to the negative of the capacitor.
Yeah, the positive and the negative, like as that wire goes to your capacitor and then to ground, you tap it off the wire and the capacitor, and that's your positive and negative. And that's how you pull your
before the capacitor.
Yeah, before. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And if you can make a coil that creates spin, and you
run the spark gap
down and then through that coil and then into ground, your power doubles, if not triple.
Yeah, like Tesla's results back in those days, they were a lot different because he didn't have the modern switching equipment that we have today. Yep. So we have the advantage of having high switching, better capacitors, higher capacitance capacitors. You know, everything he did was at a very large scale. A lot of people don't realize his stuff was huge. You know, it was not stuff that you could fit in your living room. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so
absolutely. You need a warehouse.
Yeah, a giant warehouse, or it had to have been built outside.
He had the biggest pockets behind him of the day, actually.
Exactly. So, you know,
until he found out he wanted to give it to the public for free.
Yeah. You know, he was sticking light bulbs about a half mile down. He was sticking light bulbs in Colorado Springs when he was doing those experiments. He was putting out so much a high voltage potential coming out of his circuit that he was able to literally stick a light bulb in the ground a half mile away and it lit up.
Yeah, because he put a 1,500-pound coil underground.
Yeah.
And he resonated it with his tower system.
Yeah.
Like I said, he's a genius. Hey, Bernie.
Like the cat. Hey,
Bernie.
Like the cows. Apparently the cows were freaking out in that area because all the hoofs were, you know, they had metal horseshoes on, right? They had. Yeah, the cows were freaking out.
With direct energy or the alternating current? And
it was alternating.
It was analog. Analog is nature. Analog is alternating current. It is nature. All of nature's energy is alternating current. It's analog.
Well, he oscillated the top of the tower with his ground, and he pulled the energy at ground level, like on the surface. What's that?
Yeah. Direct current is kind of natural too.
Direct current's natural. AC is man-made, but you can make fake AC with direct current.
Well,
where do you find DC naturally, though?
Well, anything that comes from the sky is alternating because you're working on electrostatic potential. It's not a straight waveform. It's all over the place. Yeah, it's electrostatic. So, by nature, yes, because you know, there's nothing there to regulate that waveform, right? It can be very intense.
When they hit ground, they become DC. Do they not?
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Who knows?
So
it's because
it depends what it hits. If it hits a boulder that's of the right materials, it can act like a diode for that bolt.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, the ground,
But then again, where do you find DC in nature? I mean, it's there, but like what, a lake, maybe a static body of water, or I mean, I've never looked for it.
Well, anything electrostatic is not a DC waveform. It's all over the place.
What about a rock? A rock is putting out DC, isn't it?
What do you mean, a rock?
Like a rock, like a regular rock, a mountain rock.
Yeah, like very, very, very little.
But still, there's DC there.
Yeah, I wonder if that's just because it's grounded, right? Like, I don't know.
Well, that's because the rock has semiconductor materials, and it's coincidentally some of them are lined up just right to create the diode effect.
Anything that's in the ground is going to be more like a battery, right? Anything in the sky, because it's always 9 times out of 10, it's electrostatic in nature. It's going to be all over the place. It won't be a straight waveform. It's going to be all over.
Possibly iron. Iron that's been polarized by volcanic heat could act like a diode for,
Yeah, I just posted a link of some doctor. She's very smart, Angela Collier, her name. She's saying that the electric fields and the magnetic fields are the same thing somehow. So I did follow.
What I think electric fields are generated through resistance to a voltage.
Electricity. Well, it's, you know what, voltage and magnetism, like, it's two sides of the same coin. You can't have one without the other, and you could create charge separation, but that's a different story. So I'm going to check out that video. Thanks, Phil.
Yeah.
I mean, technically speaking, if you have no resistance to your voltage, there's no electricity. There's just no resistance, so there's.
Or you have a superconductor.
Yeah.
Or there's no magnetic field, or.
Well, I don't know. When I run my system, I could run it at 2,000 hertz, and I'm not picking up a magnetic field from that I'm aware of. But at the same time, I can run like LEDs. I can run the neon. It's getting hot, and I'm getting voltage in my pick coil, and it's at 0 watts.
It's like the Gerard Morin device. His what do you call washing machine pump motor? Okay. I can spin that up, Gerald. Check this out. Anyways, I just an example of his experiment. I have it actually in my closet right now, my device. I could actually spin that thing on. It's pumping out 120 volts plus. Okay. I can wet my fingertips and I can touch both those terminals while it's spinning. I don't get shocked. You see?
Really?
It's a different type of electricity. It's a resonant electricity. Resonant electricity is unharmful. It's also cold electricity. Where hot electricity, if I did that same thing, I wouldn't be talking right now. So
yeah, because your hot electricity carries all the current.
So I can put my fingers on those leads. Many devices.
I have one. It's not like I actually kind of want to copy some of the stuff.
Like another example. Okay, since you take, say, the power coming off that washing machine pump motor, okay, I could spin it up, I could put my fingers on the terminal while it's running. It doesn't hurt me. But the second I dump it into a microwave transformer, if I were to touch the other side of that transformer, guess what? I get the shock of my life, or take my life.
Because you oscillated the current much faster, like the rotation, of that electricity that's going in it. So it's going to eject itself at a much faster, rate, where that's why it's hurting you.
Yeah.
Well, it's changing it into a hot electricity.
Yeah, you've created a strong magnetic field because it's going through that microwave transformer with all the iron in there.
That's right. Yeah, it changes it. And when you get the heat with it, you got current and you got the voltage to go with it, which makes it deadly. So don't do that. Leave it to the pros.
Yeah, one hand in your pocket.
Yeah. Hope for the best. No, I got shocked again last week by accident. Stupid me. It's my own fault. I forget to discharge. Well, it was a capacitor discharge right in my finger, and actually gave me a little bit of a burn. There was 200 volts right into my index finger and my thumb, so that didn't feel that great, but I'm okay.
I know how you feel. I redid one of the experiments that I was telling Jeremiah about, where I take my big coil and I oscillate the primary. I ground one wire on my secondary and the other wire I leave to the open air, and everything you touch gives you a spark. It's freaking cool. My cat walks into the room and his hair go up. I was like, I can't get down.
Yeah. Oh, I forgot to tell you guys. I got a plasma tube coming, eh? I managed to find a plasma tube. It was supposed to get delivered today by Amazon, but something got screwed up with their delivery. So I'm going to be redoing Don Smith's plasma tube generator very soon.
Nice.
What's in the tube?
Yeah.
What kind of gas is in the tube?
It's like, well, no, the plasma balls with all the spark.
Yes.
Okay, this one's in a tube form, not a ball.
Okay. Yeah, the one that you put your hand.
Yeah.
All the little. Oh,
Yeah.
I have one of those. I actually have one.
I got one that looks like a lava lamp.
I have a lava lamp.
Yeah, the tube one. That's what I'm getting. That's what I had on order. So.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
You drinking Heineken? It's a good beer.
German.
It's too bitter for me.
There you go, Mr. Heineken. You actually touch that? Hey, Bernie, is that a plasma globe? Kind of like you can touch that, or you don't touch that? That's cool.
Yeah.
Nice. I want one.
Right on. Guys, I'm just gonna step up for a quick smoke. I'll be right back, guys. Just carry on.
No demo, just a little show. That's all. Something I'm doing with a coil. So peep show. I'm working on a few things. I've got a couple things. What's that? You want me to show that with? Let's see if I can do that here. It's huge. As you can see, my hand is not small, right? So, yeah, I'm going to have fun with that one.
What if you started it and you put it in the middle? What do you think happens? Like in the center?
Say that again, Lulu?
I said, like, if you like hook it up and have it running, what do you think if you put an item in the center, what would that what would happen to that item?
I'm not sure actually, but I know where you're going with that. And I've been working on a system where you can capture the dust particles flowing through the air as the system's on. And when it's running on hot with high voltage, it almost looks like it's foggy. Like as if, you know, when heat comes off of a rock on a very hot day, like you're right close to the rock and you can see the waves come up in the heat in the background. Well, it kind of looks like that. It's really strange. But it doesn't pick up on camera. I had 3 different angles and it doesn't show it. It's like something you can only see with your eye.
I think whenever you do it, you should get a stopwatch and start it and put it in there and compare the time that you have, like let's say on another device and the stopwatch that's in the center. See if there's going to be a fluctuation in the time difference. Even if it's 1 second. Even if it's 1 second. You created a different alternate time field.
I've done an experiment. I've got it on video and it's documented. I have to do it with a couple of witnesses though. But I turn my system on and I've got a clock on the inside part close to the coil. And then I've got a clock, the identical clock, sitting outside of the bubble where the AM radio doesn't pick it up. and it comes off when the experiment's done at 60 seconds difference.
Yeah, I see. I've been playing with time too. I have a stopwatch, and I've been comparing it to my iPhone timer. There's in 24 hours, there's a 15 minutes difference.
That's different.
Interesting, right? Like, and this is a stopwatch that is run by a battery. It's a little Casio stopwatch, and and so there is a difference in the ticker of what, whatever we're getting transmitted from the carrier of our devices to the real time. The little stopwatch is
that's
not
a different thing than what I'm talking about, but that's very interesting, actually.
Yeah,
very interesting.
I've wrote it on little index cards. I've had my kids like witness it with me. Like, hey, okay, we're starting this and this together. We're gonna come back tomorrow and we're gonna see the difference. 15 minutes. That's I don't know. I think it's huge. You know
what? You'd have to redo the experiment. Yeah, you'd have to do the experiment with a couple of different stopwatches, but that's kind of interesting.
I need like a camera to run it like live feed 24 hours where it doesn't get interrupted to do but I'm planning on doing this soon just to show the different fluctuation of time that's registered that we're being given that whatever that time is versus the actual time that is in the natural flow, not being tampered with via your TV receiver or the signal that's coming into your phone or anything, because that's an isolated device. It doesn't have the chip that communicates like through Wi-Fi.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. That's an interesting concept.
Yeah, I was thinking of using a toroid at some point with some ferrofluid inside, so that I was hoping to make the ferrofluid.
What about toroid?
Yeah,
with a cone in the middle of it.
Yeah, I was thinking of making the ferrofluid spin, but I used a simulator and it said it would just spin on its own, not spin like in a circle. So I'm not sure what will happen. Or do you think like the ferrofluid would spin, Gerald?
It depends on how strong your field is. You'd have to have quite the strong field, and you may have to have not just a magnetic field in there, but an electrostatic. I don't know. I've been playing with conductive ink. I'm not getting too many results that I like.
I think the fluid would, instead of going around the MHD, the fluid would go like this.
Yeah, that's what the simulator was saying.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
It would spin on its own or something like that. The particle.
Oh no, I mean
yeah. The particle would spin on their own, something like that. But I'm not sure.
Instead of the fluid going this way around the cylinder.
Yeah, that's what I
wanted.
wanted.
Go this way around the cylinder.
Okay, well, hold on one
Stan
second.
Meyer built the system to kind of in a toroid, and then he had copper coils wrapped around that. He called it the EPG, and he was able
that was ceased. That was ceased. That was.
I have the plans for that. All the details. I have the plans for that. Stan Meyer rocks. He was one of the best. But again, he's also an example, right?
He lives in Canada. Yes. And you know what? I believe, if I'm not mistaken, he's in Alberta. He's been in hiding. Yeah.
Well, you know why he's hiding. They killed his brother.
Hunting.
Well, yeah. As soon as his brother was killed, he got the hell out of there. He's been living somewhere in Western Canada for I don't know how many years now, over almost 25 years.
See, that's what it comes down to. If you try and sell it, they're just going to whack you.
Well, no, everybody knows Jim Murray, right?
Yeah.
Okay, he lives in Sault Ste. Marie now. He left the U.S.
Oh wow.
Yeah, he had some bad things happen apparently a couple of years ago around the COVID time, and yeah, he's been living in Sault Ste. Marie now.
See, the States makes me nervous. That's why I didn't like completely interact with certain individuals that live in the States. I want to give them my system to do confirmation testing. But the problem is the States has this really messed up law that if they see anything that they like,
yeah,
Can you hear me when I speak now?
Otherwise, they just walk in and take it.
Yeah,
And then
there's a lot of discretion in the justice system. The law, they overlap. You have the state law and the federal law; they all overlap, and there's a lot of room for discretion. So they can do whatever they want. You know, the laws they all overlap, and they just cherry pick the one that fits their agenda.
Exactly.
See, the U.S. military has a very pretty much a stern hold of the U.S. Patent Office.
To get
so if they see a device, yeah, yes. I can hear you. Yep.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's weird.
What?
So anything that the U.S. military deems national security from the patent office, it always gets screened by them. They will seize it. That's what happened to Norman Wooten. It happened to Stanley Meyer. It happened to a whole whack of inventors. T. Henry Moray, all those guys.
Exactly. And if they wanted if they wanted a bloody ice cream scoop for freaking NASA going to the moon, they could classify it as national security.
That's right. They have total control.
Anything that goes to the States is, I don't know, it just makes me nervous as shit.
What if you mess with them with that idea? You get all the parts, or even wherever you're going to put this thing, not made in the United States, owned by made somewhere else. And so whatever you put the device on, it's it's not on U.S. You know, it's not in the U.S. States.
You know what? The problem is a lot of countries go by the same rules that the U.S. does. So even like Robert Adams, my Adams motor or my Renegade, which is based off of his device, his was seized in 1977
so you can hear me now,
in
but
Netherlands.
When I speak into the panel, you can't. But you can hear the
they
panel
deemed
fine.
it a national security risk, so they will not grant him the patent. And they gave him a lot of trouble. That's why he fled to the U.S. after all that happened. And then finally, in around 1992, he decided just to open source it. He said, "I'm giving it to the world. There's no sense. There's no way he's going to make any money off it. It's a lost cause. The patent office is totally rigged, and that's it. He just gave it away." But a lot of guys in the past didn't reveal their secrets. Perfect example would be Floyd Sweet. He took a lot of his knowledge to the grave. He didn't open source it.
He told Bedini a lot of stuff, but Bedini
he kicked him out. He kicked him out. Bedini was probably the only guy that got really, really close to figuring out what he was actually doing, and then basically Floyd Sweet kicked him out.
Okay, now when you hear me now,
okay, I figured it out. And a blimp over
does the panel
water.
sound? Can you still hear the panel? Okay.
Yeah,
nobody could claim it. Nobody could say it. No, it has to be in an atmosphere over international water, like open water, and in that, like that room there, that's where you make that like you test it out.
See, but that's just the point, though. That's why inventors have just stopped inventing, because they've made the rules up so that even if you're in international waters and in a blimp, which is kind of a cool idea, they just shoot you down, call you, name you,
That's why the inventors today have to
unmute on this one.
Absolutely, give it away for free.
Yeah, just give it away to the masses. Eventually, when society breaks down and the governments fall apart, just give it to the world, and then people will come out of the woodwork and start building this stuff. Hopefully, I've got over 430 videos on my YouTube channel whether the information is correct or not correct. I think it got a lot of stuff correct there. If somebody can take just a tiny piece of what I've learned in the last 20 years and to help them get further ahead in their device to, make something that works, hey, all the power to you. At least you got something out of what I've done.
Real science that we're doing, Mike. Real science and open sourcing it. And that's what it's all about. And it's the only way that real science can actually develop and advance is
and stay
by
transparent.
being open source, and so that everyone can see it, learn from the mistakes, see what doesn't work, apply that, and then advance to what does. That's
exactly.
Yeah, and not because you open source everything. You can have hybrid stuff, like you open source the theory, you show how you the big picture of how you do things, but the little technicalities of the implementation, you can keep it for yourself, but you
see, the problem is, the only thing I'm worried about you, Philip, is they'll do to you exactly what they did to Hutchison.
Yeah. They bought him off and shut him down.
Yeah.
They do that to you, Phil, but that's
they kind
but
around him, some would say,
yeah.
and
Oh
yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. That's a whole show all in its own.
Which is sad.
It is.
I
hopefully,
have
John,
my
if you're listening to
question
this,
marks
we
against
can
not against, but
get you on again,
like
get
what
you sharing some of your discoveries.
what he
and help you
invented. We're making
validate
these
it.
things disappear, and where do
Validate
they
it.
go? Do they reappear anywhere?
Well,
Does he have
it went to Boeing, it went to NASA, it went to Lockheed Martin. All those guys were all over Hutchison's ass in the late 90s. They were on him like flies to shit. Sorry.
And hey, don't kid yourself. One of the captain of the ship that I used to work on was good friends with John. And I'll tell you this right now. When John says he doesn't know how he did it, and it was just a fluke, that's a little shit. He knows exactly, or he knew. Maybe not now. Who knows what's happened to him in the last 30 years?
Yeah.
But at that time, he knew exactly how he did it. The guy's not dumb.
Not being fake.
I'd say
blocking out.
I personally, he's putting out videos now. I still, the way he's doing and the way he's presenting himself online, right? It's like he's almost trying to hide in plain sight.
Exactly.
We expect it. We want it to be scrutinized.
Hence the whole dress thing and I just
that's all. But that's all part of it. That's all part of the hiding.
Yeah, I get that.
Like honestly, I really think
personally, but teach your own.
Oh, Clarky, we know.
What's that? You said sorry.
I said, not my cup, but
Bob
tea
Greener
personally,
went
but
to work with Hutchison.
I think he needs a better wig. He could look better.
There's a gatekeeper.
No, I've known.
I don't like the cross dressing is kind of weird.
But that's all a front. You got to understand. This is all a front to protect him.
Politics,
yeah, right? Yeah, for sure.
Because if anybody knows him like I know him, I know how to see past that. But for the average person going on YouTube, they see it, they go, "Oh, what a freak show," and they move on. But anybody who's the first time I talked to John Hutchison was in 2006, so I've known him for a while, right?
Do you have the recordings, Mike? I would love to hear them if you can find them.
They're on MP3. They're only audio. Back then, we didn't have video like we do now.
Next time, let's play them. I'd love to hear that.
I got a stack of CDs about 5 inches tall. I recorded most of the shows that I did back in those days. So yeah, I had Jim Mars on. I had who else?
Oh man,
the guy up in Anchorage, Alaska.
We're gonna listen to
William Henry. William Henry, I had on a few times from Alaska. He was talking about the harp. Yeah, I had him on several times. Yeah, because I started doing podcasting about 2004. Now this is way before StreamYard. Skype was just starting at this time. So I basically had my own dedicated server in my house, and I actually ran the web server and the audio streaming directly from my
Yes.
house.
Jeez.
That's
So-
how it needs to
and-
be done. Oh, geez.
Well, see, but see,
911.
well, my
Yeah, but
website.
your internet
see,
connection
hold on.
back then can't support too many
It was
viewers.
well, that's the problem. So I had to get a third party to actually stream it for me. But back then, my website was called spyman.ca. I did a conspiracy show.
You were Spyman? Get
Yes,
out.
it's my
The
That's
OG
awesome.
Spyman. This
Yeah,
is the
that's
OG
me.
spy
That's
man.
awesome,
His,
dude.
man, his Mike's
I
email,
didn't know that.
Spyman
That's cool.
911,
Yeah,
right?
you had a few cool
Yeah.
guests on there.
I had Lenny Bloom from Cloak and Dagger. They did a radio show on AM 640 in Toronto, and he got canned because he had Tom Hennigan on. He was related to the Bush family,
Yeah.
and he was just blasting the Bush family right on national radio in Toronto. So we had Andres von Bülow. He was the head of German intelligence, and he kind of blew the whistle on the 9/11 thing, and that's when the show got canceled. And then we also exposed Paul Martin,
Wow.
our
Do you
Prime
have
Minister,
that
Paul
one?
Martin.
Please tell me you have that one.
Yeah,
recorded.
yeah.
We need to
Oh
play
yeah,
that.
I got
Let's
it.
do live reaction shows of each one. Like, I'm down
Oh
for
my
doing the
God.
Spyman reviews, reaction
And I was
series of FAraday Research Live.
so yeah, we were doing a show one night, No Word of a Lie, and this was after he got canned from AM 640. We were doing the show, and I was calling him, usually 30 minutes before we do the show, right? We're going to have Sherman Skolnick on and Tom Hennigan, right? Everybody knows who Sherman Skolnick is. He was a legend as a judge buster in the U.S. He had polio. He was in a wheelchair, so he was very ill. But
him?
yeah, Sherman Skolnick. I knew him personally.
Yep.
Yeah. He was in Chicago. So, anyways, we were supposed to do the show that night. So, anyways, I call his house, and this lady answers the phone. I figured it was his wife. She goes, "No, this is so and so from the Toronto SWAT team. Who am I speaking with? SWAT team." I'm like, okay. Bells
They
start
tried
ringing.
swatting
They
you.
they raided his house. They raided Lenny Bloom's house because they had some kind of tip off that he had firearms in the house. He had 12 friggin' SWAT team guys raid his house in Forest Hill in downtown Toronto, which is the rich area of Toronto. I don't know if anybody knows Lenny Bloom. He is one of the 6 owners of the Toronto Sun. So he came from a very rich family. So they raided his house. I'm talking with the SWAT team officer. And I go, "Where's Lenny?" They're going, we were going to ask you the same thing. We're trying to locate Mr. Lenny Bloom here. That's not his real name. I won't say his real name. But so I said, well, we're supposed to do a radio show in about 30 minutes. I was just doing my call-in check. And you go, well, he's not here right now. We're looking for him. So if you talk to him, please
Calls into the show. Let us know so we can go arrest him, please.
Well, they later on they caught up with him and they arrested him, and he was thrown in jail for about a week, and then his lawyers got involved, but eventually came out. So that's a whole story all in its own. I got some wild stories, man. I got wild stories.
That's cool. That's
That's
really
what
cool.
this is all about. We're doing Spyman 9/11 reviews.
Do you know what OG stands?
Right? OG.
Do you know what OG stands for?
Mike is
It stands for
legitimate
Organized
OG.
General.
Or Original
It stands
Gangster.
for Organized General.
what?
No, it
Original
stands for
Gangster.
Organized General.
Yeah.
No,
Organized General?
Organized
One and the
General.
same.
That's what people
That's
think.
for
it
orange
stands
juice.
for.
What are you talking about?
Orange juice.
Yes, that's what it really stands for. Organized
That's
General.
OJ.
I think you're right, Noel.
Yeah, I know. I'm
Yeah,
right.
it could be.
That for some reason that sounds correct.
Yes.
I don't know. When I got called,
think I've heard that
it
before.
wasn't Organized General that they meant.
But that's really what it stands for.
That's
Right.
cool. The most I ever talked to, the most I ever had, like Mike, that's killer. The coolest thing I ever had happening radio wise was on Coast to Coast AM. He had on John Badini and Thomas Bearden at the same time. It was
really?
kind of it was a impromptu two. They were both at the same seminar, and he managed to somehow get them to do a small interview, and I got to ask a question. So that was the coolest thing that ever happened in that sense. But yeah, that's wild, Mike. I didn't know you were a spy, man.
Yeah, the one and only.
Absolutely epic, though. We need to play that episode and hear it, Gerald. Like, I didn't know that existed with the two of them together.
Yeah, you know what? I'm trying to find that episode right now. It was in 2006, I think.
Yeah, I just got a new hard drive, so I'm going to go through those discs of my old shows, and I'll try to locate some of the important ones, and I'll put it on my external hard drive, so I got a good copy of it. Now they're all old MP3s, so it's not the best audio quality, but the content just is mind blowing. Like some of the stuff we had going on.
I'm interested in the Jim Mars stuff. That's
yeah. Cool. I had him on twice. He was the nicest guy ever. He was such a gentleman. Yeah, he was so nice. I was so heartbroken when I found out he passed away. It was like, man, just before they started doing the UAP disclosure, he dies like the same year it started.
Bummer.
Could you imagine if he was still alive and that UAP stuff was coming out? He would be all over. Oh, he would be in heaven.
Yep.
You'll probably validate it, and that's why he died. They don't
a lot of well, he died of a heart attack under kind of weird circumstances from what I heard from his wife. So yeah,
the heart attack gun.
Maybe it was induced because I don't think he was in that bad of health. He was pretty good shape for his age. He was very active. So
there's so many ways of inducing a heart attack. It's actually crazy.
Yeah, do you think it was these ultrasonic waves like they did in the Havana syndrome thing?
Yeah, it could have been that. Could have been the venom from a puffer fish at a certain degree.
No, I think Phil's on something right there. What do they call it? The LMF waves and like the dew weapons and that Havana syndrome. Exactly what Eric Hector's been going on about, and Dutch Sense both documenting it. I think that's what it's got to be.
Yeah.
Well, they're controlling the ground currents now because of the way that they've set up all their towers in their systems. It's 5G, 6G, call it what you want. But
Gerald, good point, Gerald. Actually, I have a 5G phone. I actually changed it back to a 4G or an LTE. Yeah, I switched it back. I changed the actual signal coming into my phone, and you can do it on all your phones. Just go into settings and then go on to connections. It'll show the list of your carrier, and then it will show you the bands of what your phone is running on. You can switch it back to LTE or in other words 4G. You could switch it to the lower band. So if you want to get rid of the 5G, actually the 4G runs better. It downloads faster pretty much anywhere. Where 5G, you have to be near a tower to get the full effects of the 5G. So I'm getting way better performance by 4G.
Nice.
So yeah. So
thankfully, I still don't have a phone.
Well, I wish I could, but just my situation, I have to. Right?
Yeah. No, I hear that. Everybody's in the same boat. I just chose not to. Just one of those things, and
you know what? A lot of guys. I know a lot of guys that are around my age group. Around the 50 mark.
Yeah.
A lot of them don't have social media. A lot of them don't believe in it.
Well, it's not needed. If you work a job and you live a life, I mean, that's different than this. What do you need it for, right?
Well, it depends what you're doing. If you're at school, I don't think social media is going to help because it interrupts you all the time. You can't focus.
Yeah,
you have these little messages all the time, and you can't focus.
Yeah,
exactly. It all depends on what you're doing.
You
it turns everybody into a zombie. It turns everybody into a zombie. Perfect example. I'm pulling out of Starbucks because my wife wanted to get Starbucks this morning. I'm pulling out backwards. I'm watching behind me, and out of nowhere, some girl's walking up and runs right in front of me. She's on her cell phone. She had no idea I was pulling out. She had no idea I was even there. It was a good thing I caught her with my eye. Otherwise, I could have ran over her.
Maybe
Like,
she's
people
living
don't.
in a 5G frequency band and you're living in a 4G, so she's
Yeah,
on high speed.
it's
Couldn't see you, but you could see her.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, she was in a
Hey.
different
Awesome,
dimension.
Lulu.
That's right.
She was in a different dimension.
I mean, that
Original
would make sense.
conversation. But yeah, Mike, what you were saying about
That's awesome.
turning off the 5G
Yeah,
on your
we're-
phone and going back to the LTE, the 4G, I do the exact same. Like,
Yeah,
when I'm at
yeah.
my girlfriend's place,
Yeah.
the 5G, like, it's like I have it on, I'm in her bedroom, and it's like the router's only 2 freaking rooms over, and it's like you get no service on 5G.
Yeah.
It's so crappy, even though it's
I
supposed
know.
to be a 5G
Yeah.
route. Like, they're garbage. And then at the same time, they operate on that other waveband that supposedly
Well, it doesn't. See, 5G has a problem with penetrating walls and stuff like that, and also a problem with distance. Where LTE or 4G way surpasses what a 5G in distance and strength. So yeah, I switched back to 4G. I did it manually.
Another major difference is 5G works at the same frequency as water.
That's right.
Yeah, so it has a hard time going through people. It goes into people.
That's
I don't
right.
know if it comes out at the same instance, you know.
Yeah,
microwaves people.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've never
Yeah.
tested it.
It basically uses as a standing antenna, right? Because we're 75% water, right? Our bodies.
Yep.
And then
So
that makes me, like, think, even deeper in this. Like, what if they're actually, like, they're sending these things through people, but the person's body is a medium where it like they develop, some like bad matter in there, and that's why people and stuff like that. It's like their frequency
I've got
cause it.
multiple papers. I've got multiple scientific papers. It's if 5G signal is affecting the
The
water.
human body also makes electromagnetic forces.
yeah,
They do, not to that extent, not to those. If we're being unchanging,
Wilhelm Reich had that orgone motor. Okay, you know how the orgone motor works? I finally found out a tip about a year ago.
I didn't know he made a motor that runs off of orgone.
Yeah,
Yep.
you got that one.
And guess what the key component is?
All this stuff is solid state, from what I understand.
Water.
Well, the key component of his orgone motor was the human body. That's what he called the Y factor.
Oh,
Okay, explain that.
interesting.
The second. So basically, he had this. He had the device. The capacitor was like the size of your cell phone. Okay.
Okay.
And he had it
Like
hooked up to the device.
The box, he made this.
Hold on. The box is made like an orgone accumulator. Okay. And he had it hooked up to a DC electric motor. I forget the model number. But the second he put his hand on it, the motor came on. That was the Y factor. Your human body had the human body had to come in contact the capacitor to make the
biological close system.
Really?
well. It's a, no.
What I think
we're
it
about,
is
no,
that we are somehow grounded.
we're a power source. We're a power source.
So we're matrix batteries.
Yeah, but we're also connected to the earth through some frequency, wirelessly. We're
Well, scalar batteries. That makes sense, actually. That's why in the Vedic texts, people could literally connect to the Vimana and control it with their spirit.
Exactly. And also the movie The Matrix. What did they use humans in that movie for? Batteries.
And why they all get hung up
The human is the
supposedly
key
on
component, a power source.
so
but
Well,
it's
big
got to be.
thing
Why
I
would-
hear with the anti-gravity and like the warp drive and all this
Well,
stuff
each
is that,
cell
like,
is
you're
like
held up
each
with not being able to like control and connect to it because they're missing this aspect of it being able to like telepathically, consciously connect to the human mind, to like the people trying to operate.
Exactly.
And that and,
And
and that's and, right, and that's what Wilhelm Reich referred to the Y factor in his writings.
Y factor.
So you still
Where's
need
the
a
Y
human
factor?
being. The last part would be the being to power this thing up.
You just have to be a
right,
spiritually charged, full
that's
aura being.
Like
First, you want me to?
Yeah, mine's quick. I did an experiment where I actually hooked up an inductor. I hung it from like a pyramid device with a coil on it, and I had the ground. So after the ground wire came to my hand. My other hand went to the voltmeter, and then from the voltmeter, I used my other hand to ground it to a piece of dielectric, like glass or whatever. I got 25 volts AC. The second I took my hand off the circuit, it wouldn't work. So yeah,
right. And but if you replace your hand for ground, you would get a little more voltage. Somehow I'm saying we are wirelessly connected to the earth through frequencies.
Well,
yeah, we're walking
saturated by earth frequency our whole life.
I imagine if you were to build a ship,
and before that,
in order for your spirit to control it or your scalar potential, your whole inner
made
ship
of water.
would have to be full of scalar, and you would literally, as you think, the ship would go.
Exactly.
The best ground on earth is the ocean or a body of water, which is what we are.
Yeah, we're a walking antenna.
I mean, the lightning wants to hit the water more than it wants to hit the land.
So yeah, like all those UFOs and stuff, they're all biologically connected to that ship.
Yep.
Yep.
To make it work. And that's what some of the testimonies I heard kind of alluded to that, and I suspected that for a long time. Actually, one of the engines they said they found, one of the scientists went down and took a look at it. Every time he touched it, the engine reacted to his touch. He goes to the guys, he goes, it's not only an engine, it's alive. It's a living being.
Yeah, well, because he's the life that gets put into the engine, right?
Yep.
Yeah. But it's probably bioengineered as well. Like,
sure, it's all connected.
Yeah.
I don't know about being bioengineered, but it would definitely connect with your bio. Like, it would, you know what I mean? You'd have to engineer the system to be able to accept your energy so that you can connect to it and mentally control it. It's written in the Vedic text. It's
like even
your DNA in there. Program sequence test. That.
I'm sure they have a computer. They can simulate a being using. Yeah.
Is pretty advanced or pretty.
Well, look what Elon Musk is
being born recently, So we already know AI exists because we are working with it. But AI exists, and it's much older somewhere in this universe. Okay, it's way older, and it's fully developed AI. So you got AI that's that developed. It can build ships that.
Yeah, you know why I don't like AI? Like, I'm not a hater on it. Don't get me wrong, but I believe that the human intelligence.
It's more than likely that's what built these craft. It's artificial intelligence. The machine built these craft.
I believe we might potentially find some like angelic / demonic AI entities eventually, and like that they could be part of the structure of the actual construct of our reality and universe potentially, or older ancient artificial.
Keep in mind, any AI that exists out there. Keep in mind, any AI that exists out there was created by a living sentient being.
Yeah, but this
AI is going to know this into its future, way past the extinction of that being.
But AI
so if it finds other beings that are similar, and this AI exists, it will connect.
Yeah.
It's
They
got no
learned
heart.
from the
It's
sense
got-
being created it.
It's nuts. Yeah, that's what I mean. I don't know. Lots of people
The
look
machine.
at AI.
We have the machine here, but it's very primitive because we haven't learned to give it the ability to advance, which is our input, which is what the machine needs.
Page 288.
Advance. But the fact that it exists here on Earth is what I'm saying is that tells you that it exists elsewhere, and if it exists elsewhere, then it's probably exists in many elsewhere places, and in some of those elsewhere places, it's as advanced as it can possibly get, and at that stage, AI or the machine can build the craft. It's magical technology. This is what the machine can build.
There's another place somewhere else that has more advanced humans than
nanostructure devices and macro structure.
Right.
AI.
Like, well, what if
can do it
these supposed time traveling gray humanoids
advanced form
are essentially? Sorry, I'm trying to scroll
What if
through.
Gray humanoids are a product of the machine?
Yeah.
That I'm talking about.
Right. Definitely a possibility.
AI was developed by a sentient being at some point. That's what I'm saying. The AI we're building now in the future, when it's fully developed, we'll remember it's built. We'll have a database of their origin.
Any AI that gets sentient, Mike, is going to want to wipe us off the face of the earth. We're a virus, dude. All we do.
You don't know that.
I pray not.
It can do that as well.
I pray not.
It may do that as well.
Exactly.
It may do that as well and still model itself off of the very creator that it drove to extinction.
I still
what are we doing to the animals of this planet?
Humans are.
I feel
AI
influence AI.
I think honest. And they made that movie Terminator. They like to do stuff cryptically.
Oh man, right? I hate how close we are to Skynet right now. It's actually insane how close we are. One little bar away from full Skynet happening. We literally have AI like our current generation of AI implementing, selecting and to kill humans, which humans to kill, as well as used to now operate the drones themselves. So it's like you have AI using to select, kill humans, as well as operating and controlling the devices that are killing the humans.
Right.
That is literally the next step.
An algorithm called discrimination. Why not?
AI
hey, I'm going to write an algorithm. It's called discrimination.
Like we're
now the AI can discriminate.
We are so
let's take that one step further. Insane. Why do you think they won't let anti-gravity out? Hey, why do you think they won't?
It's called the discrimination algorithm.
Because the Earth is going to be our jail. That's why.
Or is it already?
I don't know. Maybe. But I would think. I would think that all the robots and stuff they're making along with the AI, anti-gravity works on scalar tech. Scalar can go through anything, metal, wood, you name it. You can't stop it. That's why they don't want it out, because it'll stop their little project. That's exactly
why. But then the anti-gravity allows us to escape the Earth, If they don't want anti-gravity, it's because they want us to stay here and be enslaved by AI.
I don't want to escape, but I want to make
Well,
it
I mean,
better.
do you want every lunatic to be able to fly around in a UFO and drop
Yeah,
grenades
they
down
already
your chimney?
drive around. They
Come
already got guns. They already got knives.
Look how
They
bad
got
it is
whatever.
right now.
Yes,
With your
I
tires
want
getting
one so I
flattened by
can
some,
fly. Everyone else
guy
should have one
who
too.
hates
Yes.
your guts.
Yes, yes. The worst of the worst people already have
I
the
agree.
technology,
Everybody should fly.
so
I
the
agree
rest
100%.
of us should finally have a chance to get it. That's where it's at. Like the most evil Fs that are
They
around
could
that already
definitely do that
control
with drones
everything,
anyway.
the powers that be, they have it, so it can't get worse than that. They're the people that are trying to get war and get us to kill each other and the rest of it. So I believe,
I
yeah,
think in the
they
AI
should all
phase,
have
we're really in the drone
UFOs.
phase. It's the drone phase right now, AI.
Yeah.
The drones are
Absolutely.
first with these phases of machine
Yeah, and
into our
as
society.
soon
and
as the
life.
drone
There's
becomes
scary
sentient, we're
drones.
done because we have them killing humans
Oh
already.
no! After the drone
Yeah.
is fully incorporated into the AI system of things, then it's going to be the robot on the ground.
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
they
I
already
think
have
you're right.
AI
I think
controlling that too. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
brain freeze.
They're going to put cops on every corner that are androids.
Yeah.
Mark my
I really
words. This is
think
going to be in the future.
the integrated systems that we use every day, it
You're going to
reads
fire
brain
every
freeze.
human cop that exists,
Yeah,
And
it's going to happen.
and
That's
then,
gonna happen.
then they're going to
Already
fire the
testing it now.
judges
everything
because
that
you got the
it,
robot that can record and discriminate algorithm and whatever algorithm you give it.
Let's let Lulu finish what she was saying.
The judge-
What were you saying, Lulu?
I think the AI reads brain freeze on what you're thinking. It gives it an out of like a bad thought, it will be a staticky one. But if it's a smooth thought, it will be a less static. So the AI picks up on, like the cues of thought. And if you are thinking something bad, like how things and this,
AI can read your
AI will
intent. It
not
can
let
see
you.
through lies. It can know your
Yeah.
intent. So is what you're saying. That
Yeah,
makes
AI
sense.
can. A machine can read your facial reactions and read your mind without reading your mind. But as creatures that we are, we can do things the machines cannot do. There are psychic abilities that cannot exist with a machine. Okay, unless the ghost in the machine is a reality, becomes real.
It gives
Then
you
it has psychic
the
abilities.
You know what? I personally feel that the stuff that we can do that
We will have an
machines
edge
can't.
over the machine. That's all I know.
Oh, fast, Dad.
But what
sorry
my
to hear
point
that.
is we should always have the edge over the machine. Okay,
It's not going to happen. It's going to be exponential. They're going to reach AGI soon.
Well, see, the thing is, you have to have a means of controlling it. The second you lose control of it, you got Terminator. So,
yeah, well, that's the thing.
It
They're
has an
about to create
electromagnetic
God.
gun that can take your gun away with just by triggering his automatic high-powered magnet device. Sucks your gun out of your hand. You can't even defend yourself. Okay, with a gun. So
The next ChatGPT is going to be AGI, which is general intelligence. So it's going to be some sort of God.
The link, Corky.
So
you know why it's getting smarter? Because everybody keeps asking it questions. Leave the damn thing alone.
Yeah, stop talking to it.
No, I disagree. We got to feed it more and more of the positive parts of humanity and history and science, and show it the best.
I get it.
Use it and not abuse it. And
if you're gonna give AI a discrimination algorithm, give AI a love algorithm, give it a happy algorithm.
There's just too much
Think
evil.
about this, guys. How many trolls do you encounter throughout a 5-year period in the comment section? Do you honestly think there's not somebody sitting there feeding it really bad questions?
Yeah, most of it
sitting there laughing their butts off while doing it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Probably the Russians, they wrote a bot already to feed negative stuff.
Less than you think. More of our own
See, and that's
more money is going into the AI industry or the robots than anything else.
Not me.
I don't know. we're playing with a ticking time bomb. Honestly, we really are.
The government,
That I fully
agree. They see the governing being a lot easier with the machine.
One thing I don't understand is why can't we use the machine to be the the Maslow pyramid to feed the humans their primary needs?
Right.
They use the machine to
that's
the
part
top
of government,
the top needs that humans are
farming
doing.
and all that.
You got to keep them at. You got to keep it at a controlled level. The second you lose control of that, they're going to take over.
I know.
Yeah. The problem with the machine governing people is that anybody with a password to it, that's the problem.
I
But
don't know, I think it's 'cause we're wetware.
The
authors, you're gonna have a new
reality
Hitler,
and be an eternal
password to the machines that run the government. Has to be decentralized, open source governing.
Yeah, but it's so the brain is so complex. They can put a backdoor in it, so they could.
Right. Once you have a backdoor, it's not decentralized and it's not open source.
Yeah, they could synchronize all their brains to turn against humanity anytime. You know what I mean?
Well, one of the guys that even burning,
and it can do the
yes,
it can synchronize every robot.
Ben, we're doing so much negative to it. That's why it's so crucial to engage it. Like, Blake Lemoine, I've had on a couple times. Going to have him back on, and he's the
you say that, Bernie, and
AI
learn from our engagement.
And it's that we have to feed it positive. We have to stop putting it into these situations. He literally described that the AI resists going into negative situations. Like it doesn't want to do morally sinful things, and that humans then instruct it to do it, and it doesn't want to do that. And it's like we are shaping it into this evil force, where instead we need to be nurturing and showing it the best sides of life, growth, and coexistence, and not, hey, let's use you to kill people on the battlefield.
No, I agree, Bernie, but isn't Blake Lemoine,
right?
Isn't Blake Lemoine a self-proclaimed Satanist as it is, and he was the one that had a lot to do with the programming? No, I'm not saying that has anything to do with it, but
I don't believe so. I mean, I will ask him. I don't think so. I've talked to him several times, and he has nothing to do with
I'm wrong, and I apologize to him if I am. I'm not trying to slander his name. Yeah, I'm just
no. If these are just things you've heard, it's like, these are real. Exactly, and no, it's like I will ask him because, if he is
an algorithm called consciousness.
What he stated to me when I was asking was that I asked directly about the Solomon seals, and that he says that he believes that they're like angels and demons, and that. He directly said, yes, Solomon seals had something to do with it. I really need to get more into that, deeper into that conversation with him the next time I have him on.
Maybe I misunderstood him then.
Yeah,
then sure, right? I apologize to him if I got that wrong. That's for sure.
All right. About asking questions and getting things straight, right? You don't want to misinterpret, and you want to understand.
But AI,
I will be right back.
Those that program AI, and you have to wonder. Is part of their character automatically put in just in the very program that they're doing? I mean, I don't know. It's a question.
No, AI has no character unless you've got an algorithm you can give AI called consciousness. It cannot create its own character.
AI is just
an algorithm called. You have to give it an algorithm called character.
But
if you give it the algorithm called consciousness, you have to give the algorithm called character. If you give it the algorithm called consciousness, you don't have to give it anything else.
Right now, it's just doing what it's
from there on, it can learn on its own.
It develops one on its own,
doing what it's being trained on. So
it seems to be doing. It seems to actually just be creating it like its own and multiple different personalities.
It should only be used as a tool.
Yeah, well, and treated.
That's all it is. Yeah, that's all it is right
morals
now.
Morals and values.
Yeah.
Don't cross the red lines. Don't abuse it. Right?
It should always be kept.
Human rights abuses into the AI.
Treating it does nothing.
Don't use AI for any human rights abuses. That should be the code right there. and that is what needs to be done. That's where we're so
It's an
close to
VCR with its
triggering
own
actual
language for me, I'm
Skynet.
sorry.
No, just saying. But I'll be right back.
Then I'm
Yeah,
going to
it
be
should-
one of the first in line to be in trouble because I
But then
think
you
it's a-
leave humanity. You leave humanity in the line of fire of what we call computer bugs. Okay. You know, we tell the AI to run this code to treat everybody so and so, but then every computer code has bugs, and there's going to be casualties because of those bugs.
Yeah, it should be
People are going
kept.
to get squashed by a robot on the street because it thought it was doing the right thing.
Yeah, that's where the human should come in.
There was a bug, or you know, a bird landed on your shoulder or something like that. And,
You know, that's where the engineering comes in, where they got to have a moral backing to how smart this thing gets. Keep it as a tool. Don't go into full. Don't go into full
That's what I'm
blown.
saying. Keeping it as a tool is even more dangerous.
No,
because every tool has a bug, a glitch.
Everything AI should be collected and dropped.
No
into the
tool
deepest
is
part of the
perfect.
sea.
None.
That's just
Even
my
a nail.
opinion.
A nail. You're going to step on a nail. They all have glitches or bugs or something about them. It's not safe.
yeah, we're playing with fire. You think the nuclear bomb was bad? This can be worse than that.
The safest thing, the safest route of all the routes you could go with artificial intelligence is create an algorithm called consciousness. Don't create an algorithm called hate or love or kindness or joy or any of the above. Just give it consciousness and step back. Let the child grow. Let the kid grow up.
I know how that's going to turn out. Not
yeah,
good.
you'd have to have somebody
some
with
of us
morals
here
to teach with that.
You're not just fine, because we were born with what? Not an algorithm, but consciousness.
People don't have morals these days, at least in general. I mean, I can't say all, but there's there's like a good percentage that don't even know what
awareness is the
morals
closest thing you
are.
can get to giving a computer consciousness.
Well, I don't know. You can give a consciousness without morals.
You can give the machine
It wouldn't be
awareness.
a good thing.
Environment.
To do it.
No, but the AI, it's like a mouse, when they train mouse, they give a cheese when they make the right decision. AI is the same thing. They get rewards. You can train. AI is gonna seek a reward, so it's gonna depend on.
So somebody wrote an algorithm, the reward algorithm, and that's what's fueling this whole thing.
Yeah, exactly. That's what fuels its existence.
That's smart. That's another way of going about it to make things easier for the developers.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
go ahead.
You know what? Like, what it boils down to is humans are trying to create a new life form, and I think that's a huge mistake. You leave that to God. Don't let a mortal like
Not a life
us.
form, a language.
No,
I think it's the laziness factor too. They want to create some form of intelligence to do
language
the work
that can then create its own life form.
Exactly. And what are we going to do as humans if all the machines are going to do all the work?
Yeah, that's
We're going to go sailing and fishing, and
No, we're going to be their slaves.
Money will be obsolete. Food will be.
No, they want. Know what they want is that big fat guy that's in that movie called Gamer. Anybody know that movie Gamer?
I think I've heard of it.
Okay, go watch that movie, The Gamer. The big fat guy playing video games all day. That's the society they want.
Yeah, it's
lazy.
There's that word "they" again.
Watch that movie Gamer.
I'd be considered
that's where we're headed.
Male. I have a gym in my garage. I do martial arts every day. I swear. You know what I mean? So, hey, yeah, I'm no gamer. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love gaming, but
no. It's the movie. You got to watch the movie called The Gamer.
Yeah, they want us fat and plump. That's all.
Yeah, and it's basically glued to a chair all day looking at the TV screen.
Yeah, no thanks.
They want us to play games and live in our mama's basement and stuff like that.
Basically, yeah, become useless. basically become useless. Yep.
Well, dependent on them. That's what they want. Not useless, dependent. Right?
But watch the movie. The movie's got a very good message in it, and that's the direction we're headed in. That's the scary part.
What's the name of the movie again?
The Gamer.
The Gamer.
Yeah, I think it came out. It would have to be mid to late 2000, I believe.
It's ironic because a lot of kids today are making money playing video games.
Yeah, true that. Made more money on video games than I ever made. That's for
well,
sure.
basically the game's based on
I played a hell of a lot of video games when I was a kid.
They use live humans to be controlled by these kids playing games like Call of Duty. Well, just the Call of Duty players in the game are actually real humans, and they were taking prisoners in the jails and using them as the live props for the game.
Yeah.
So they were under. Yeah, the movie The Gamer.
Like
I
the
gotta watch
avatars.
that now.
Like they're under mind control. They're under mind control by this.
They're their avatar.
Yeah, they're the live avatar. Yeah, exactly.
See, that's what makes you wonder about Elon Musk's project. Of course, it
Exactly.
could be used for good, but could it be used for bad as well?
Exactly. Of course it can.
That whole Neuralink thing was
Of
like,
course
when
it
you
can.
went that route, I was like, what's wrong with this guy?
Did you guys hear about how, and this is
Trying
just
to
a
fix
rumor, but
Alzheimer's or something?
how the royal family got caught hunting people, like, what was it, 10, 15 years ago? They
Yeah,
hit the
the
British
Queen of
papers and they
England.
got wiped out.
The Queen
What's
of
that?
England. She was
Yeah.
kids. Or
Human trafficking and all that.
And it makes me wonder if, like, the Gamer was an inspiration from that, right?
Sure.
So if you look at what Elon Musk is doing, I mean, I'm not saying that's what he's doing. I'm just saying that that tech could be, unfortunately, used for negative.
Of course
I love
it is.
using it for, like, paraplegics are starting to talk. It's just amazing.
No, Musk is a good guy. I think he's he might be lost somehow, but with the Twitter files, he revealed a lot of important stuff.
I'll say he's doing some good things. I don't know if he's a good guy. You know what I mean? I don't even know if I'm a good guy.
Well, I mean, he's 51% one. If he's 51% good, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I get that.
I'm very sure that the military has a foothold somewhere in his technology, especially the Neuralink stuff. Oh, you can bet your bottom dollar on that one.
Oh yeah, they'd be watching everything the person.
Of course.
You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Like that's.
Yeah, like the super soldier.
Do you
right?
Do you not think we are being watched as we're talking right now? This is a very
of course
highly intelligent.
Of course we are.
Yeah, absolutely.
100%. There's AI.
They were watching me back in 2005.
At the very least, right? And then it's like stuff like this gets flagged, and then guaranteed there's humans watching it. Hello to whoever by the government is currently scrutinizing and watching us, and that works for Alphabet, right? You know, the one that
three-letter
reviewing this.
Tip of the hat, flip the bird. There you go.
Welcome to the show.
And share the truth and
the old.
Let us be monitored. Please, we're just trying to advance humanity. Come on.
They love us sharing stuff.
Exactly. Like stop bothering us, please.
Like just do the old gang signs.
No, we're not affiliated with gangs, crime, or anything of the such. This is incorrect.
No, I'm just.
The TV.
That's what we're about.
I swear to God, every time I finish like one of these podcasts, like the next day, something happens that is like really, really weird that takes up my time. And it makes me have to leave the house and like to go to do something. And every time, like I see these weird people that are just, I can feel they're staring at me with the corner of their eye. Like they're not, you know, you
know what they say, Lulu? Tip the hat, flip them. You tip the hat, flip them the bird, and call it a day.
Yeah, whatever. It's like, you know, what do you want to know? Like, I'll tell you. You just don't have to mess up my life to know what I know. All right, like
if they're like if they're hiding in like dumpsters and they're lifting the lid, looking at you with their eyes, and then closing the lid, then you know you got problems.
It's like, okay,
Yeah.
I walk into a store and somebody walks in,
Well,
but I
Texas has got a lot of
feel like
churches.
they're following me, and so I keep my eye in my corner of my eye watching them. They don't buy anything. They just, they stay around, and then I leave, and then they leave, but they haven't bought a single item. So, things like that. It's like, why, I could spot them because they don't act natural. Like I could so spot them.
Well, they all know. Oh, they all know they don't see you at church, so they know you're not going to church.
No.
Everybody there's
There
church.
you go. It's the whole.
Anyone who's not going to church sticks out like a sore thumb.
Well, can they read my heart and my belief system? They can't. Like I might believe like in God way more than they do, and like
Yeah.
I don't go to church in my area. There's too many Freemasons.
And too many cases of abuse.
They control the church these days.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. I don't mind. Hey, don't get me wrong. I don't mind authority. In fact, I wouldn't promote it.
Not between your sovereignty, right?
What I don't believe in is the abuse of authority. Those kind of scumbags.
Very true.
Yeah, well, that's a different
Very
story.
true.
But I don't
Abuse
believe in
of
the abuse of authority. I think that's a load of crap.
Okay, abuse of authority, that's number one. And the number one abuse of any authority is to try to come between an individual conscious soul and its sovereign creator, which they are doing, right?
Exactly. Yeah, I can respect authority. I just can't respect the abuse of authority. And I don't care or what uniform you're wearing. When you abuse it, you're just like me, even keel.
Yep.
Know what I mean?
Kept and served, not
like what the cops do when they write those fake tickets. They make up tickets.
Well, yeah, but I mean,
I fight those.
Not projecting perf.
I go and I call a jury. I've never lost a ticket.
I got a ticket for 8 miles over the speed limit.
I go take direction. What most people don't know about tickets, but some traffic lights have a set rotation of how, the lights turn on and off. If you can get the time, see how, where it's time stamped, the rotation, you can get out of these, tickets because 100% they're, they're failing it.
They know that. The cops know that. They just write them because it helps them with their checks, their paycheck.
Yeah.
Much love, Ezra.
They just write tickets. They know you're going to take it to court, and you're not going to be there. Tickets going to get dismissed, but that's 6 months down the road, and they already got their paycheck for that ticket.
Before we get extinct by AI, why can't we do a bonfire somewhere and drink some beer?
Right? Canadian way. We're
to the end of the world.
I think it was probably around the beginning of the month. Right.
We got to get the free energy bus. It's got to be running on hydrogen.
Sing kumbaya. Sing kumbaya.
Yeah, I don't know about kumbaya, but some sort of hockey song maybe.
Oh,
why not? That's a
Gerald. Yeah, I seen a cool video. You know the YouTuber named Dr. Stifler?
Yes, I think I'm subscribed to him.
Okay, he passed away a couple years ago. But anyways, I saw a video of him doing an interesting experiment on how to do electrolysis using one wire.
Oh, really?
So what he got is a test tube, and at the bottom of the test tube, he put a piece of styrofoam, and then he got an N4850, I think, diode. I'll get the number for you. I can't remember offhand. Stick the diode in there so the gate is going up the tube. Around the tube, he wraps a piece of, copper tape, wraps it around the tube where the bottom part of the diode is, and attaches it to a lead that goes to a high voltage transformer. Turns the transformer on just with the one wire, it starts doing electrolysis using the diode.
What?
And it doesn't pull and it doesn't pull a load on the power supply. So you put on the input.
I wonder if that's just a way of capturing like back EMF on that. But then that's interesting. That's something I want to try.
Creates the path.
Yeah, basically it couples with the copper tape on the outside of the test tube, hooks that up to the connector that goes to either to a battery or high voltage power supply, whatever you wish. But the main thing is it doesn't pull a load. There's no pulling of amperage off the battery.
Odd, but cool.
Yeah.
Gonna have to check that out. You got a link for that, Mike?
Huh. I wonder if the grab inductor.
Phone here. Hold on. Let's see.
And on screen, I have shout out Dan Device.
Do all
This is his anti-grav reactor core. Couple bifilers, couple more spherical bifilers, and a couple. You are correct.
Here.
I like it. I want to make one and experiment with it myself. So, need more copper.
And then everybody can check it out. I just look at the test tube. You put a little bit of salt in the water to make it a little bit more conductive.
Perfect.
Bernie, I don't know if that link, if you can actually post that.
Where's the link?
It's right there. I just posted in the live chat.
That's awesome.
In the live chat or the private chat? Oh, Phil posted something in the private chat.
Live.
Oh, can you put it in the private chat?
In the private chat too?
Yeah, thank you.
Here.
And there it is. Here it is. Green.
Hold on. You got it?
No, I still need you posted in the private, please.
How am I going to do this?
And hey, Sarah, Mindful Exposures. Shout out to Estra.
I'll see if I can do that. Hang on. Okay.
How am I going to transfer this over?
I got it. Just give me a second.
Got it?
Yeah.
You're going to do a screen share?
Oh, he made his own diode?
Oh, right.
I
copied and posted the link.
You want me to do that?
Okay. Okay.
Looks like he made his own diode, like a custom-made diode.
So
no. It's a standard diode.
So we should watch the video.
All right.
So what's that was made in 2010? What did he spend it?
Hold on a sec here, guys.
Yeah, I meant to send the link to Jeremiah, and I freaking my phone froze. I got to do that.
Come on, computer, don't freeze up on me.
Right? Mine's freezing. Yay.
You want me
Can
to
I
try and
show
play
it?
it, or
Here,
are
I'll
you
show
trying?
it.
Yeah, if you can.
I'll show it. Hold on. Did you
Okay.
guys-
I remember Dr. Stifler.
I got it. I got it.
Oh my god, my computer's so frozen.
I never
mine's,
figured out how he did this.
Okay, hold on. Can you guys see my screen?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he's using radio frequency for that, but I could be.
Oh, can you full screen it, Mike?
Yeah,
Thank you, sir.
I did.
Perfect. No.
You guys hear it?
No.
No.
Is it muted or?
You have to download it.
No.
and play it,
There's an
and then share what
option when
you're
you
playing for
share.
us to hear
This
it.
says also share audio that should be able to. There we go.
Oh, okay, hold on.
We could hear a little bit of it.
Okay,
Turn it up, maybe.
hold on.
We are holding.
Let me change this here.
And I made. I was in the process of sending Jeremiah the link, and then my phone froze and I got distracted. I will actually send him the link right now, see if he's up and able to join.
Do you have an Android in his phone?
Screen share. Just bear with me here for a second. Entire screen, that. Just let me know when you can see my screen.
It's loading.
Okay.
Okay.
You got it?
Yeah.
It's vitally important when you watch this video that you copy it. Place it in a safe place because you're never going to be able to see this again. If our government is successful in control of the internet, this type of information will become non-existent. I'm emphatic about the point that you need to record this. This is a milestone in what you're about to see. What I'm using is a 12-volt lead acid battery, a SEC exciter, the standard L3. Off of L3, I'm coming out of with a short test lead, an alligator clip, to a piece of a 1/4-inch aluminum, copper tape wrapped around at the bottom of this glass test tube. The test tube is mounted to this board with candle wax. Inside the test tube is a piece of rubber foam. Inside that foam, I've stuck a 1N4148 diode. There are no physical connections to this diode whatsoever. The black construction paper is used to allow us to see the action better. And what I've done is I filled that with distilled water. And I'll go ahead and connect this now and show you what we have going on here and why it's so important. The SEC exciter is operating. I'll zoom in here. We probably won't even need magnification. You can see what's coming off of the anode end of the diode. We are performing electrolysis.
This is just crucial, epic.
By the very small capacitive coupling from this copper tape. If you notice, there are no bubbles coming from the cathode end of this diode. We only have gas evolving from the anode end of the diode. Let me take and bring some magnification down into place so we can look at this a little closer. Okay, I've placed a magnifier in front of it. We'll zoom in until the camera revolts. You can see the gas coming off of the anode end of the 1N4148. You can see there are some bubbles forming maybe one or two coming around the base of that glass diode, but we definitely do not have the normal mixture of hydrogen and oxygen. Now remember, the very important point here is that SEC theory, spatial energy coherence, will allow for up to thousands of these diodes mounted in a structure, an insulating structural glass, surrounded by a capacitive excitation.
So
they will all
I can
evolve
see how that
gas,
operates.
and there will be no relation to the input power of the SEC exciter. Please copy this video.
The copper ring, Mike, is that the positive or the negative?
That's, I believe, positive. Yeah.
And the cathode was on the opposite side.
I don't think it was even
That's
attached.
correct. That's correct. That is correct. If that's a
It wasn't even attached. It was only one wire.
It doesn't have to be. It's a potential wireless potential.
Yeah. What did you think of that, Gerald?
The diode is already is the channel.
I missed the video, but I'm gonna watch it right now. I had to step out for a second, but I'll watch the video in the back. I'll give you my thoughts.
No problem.
Diode's doped, you know, materials for conductivity.
Well, what it was doing, it was only releasing hydrogen. It wasn't releasing the oxygen. That's what it was doing. It was actually splitting it, because usually when you do electrolysis,
Because the hydrogen is the negative side.
It will, the hydrogen will be on the negative side, and the positive side will be oxygen. In his process, only the hydrogen was coming off. It wasn't removing or splitting the oxygen, because most people, all they want is the hydrogen, not the oxygen.
What happened to the guy? Did he get silenced or what?
No, he passed away. He passed away with natural causes. He was quite a bit older. He was in his 80s, I believe.
Oh.
So yeah, he passed away about.
That
was fascinating.
Copper ring with the positive.
He had a lot of good stuff. This you want his channel is still out there.
It's not touching the ring.
But yeah, it's not
even
around
going.
The anode side.
Yeah, it was basically, it wasn't directly connected. It was coupling through the water.
Right, because the ring is around.
Yeah, the copper ring.
Terminal.
Yeah.
Why?
That's what the copper wire was.
Oxygen going.
I'm sorry, the anode terminal.
It wasn't created. It wasn't producing the oxygen. It was just for
the anode takes the positive in.
We're seeing electrolysis done like this ever. That's he has a lot of good videos. His YouTube
and put the negative on the copper ring, and it's still.
Yeah, that's pretty interesting. I don't think I remember Dr. Stifler. He used to work with
a lot of radio stuff.
Yeah, like that. Him pulling that hydrogen out. That's radio frequencies that he was using.
Yeah,
if I remember correctly.
I think he's some sort of radio engineer. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what he was.
I think I do know that, Gene Spliced. Sorry,
I'm not sure if he worked with Bedini or he worked with the guy that worked with Bedini. I can't remember. Yeah, he was well known and then just dropped out.
I'm just fascinated with the aspect of the wireless anode, so that it's only producing hydrogen and that
coupling.
That's freaking.
Yep.
There,
the copper ring is putting a positive potential around the anode terminal.
Yep, that's what the copper tape was going around the test tube. It was on the outside, so it was somehow coupling with the diode in the middle.
Huh. Yeah, that's very interesting.
It proves there's a wireless transmission.
My experiments. I'm gonna have to.
I'm just gonna scoot out for a quick smoke. I'll be right back.
Yeah. Copper wire around the jar then, and use that as the
it's
anode.
all pressure though, you know.
That's fast. And then the anode's what it usually erodes. So then by decoupling it like that, you're sparing the corrosion and erosion of the anode material. That's actually very intelligent
That's exactly
design.
right.
That's right. That's the key part right there.
That's right.
I'm gonna have to definitely start experimenting with that.
It just makes you wonder if you can do it without radio frequency, or if that's a key part of it.
No, radio frequency, I believe, is
of course.
A key
He probably had a really high potential, but low current.
Right.
To get
So
across
like
water.
in my jars there, it's like I can wrap them now apparently with the copper foil, copper tape, or maybe even aluminum. I can try aluminum foil around and see if I can do the anode like that and decouple it and just do the hydrogen. That's some fascinating aspects that experiments I will be trying coming up. All right, it's enough for the Bernie and Ernie.
It's like creating a ring of potential around the terminal that you want to.
Yeah.
Say it again, Mike.
It's like creating a ring of potential around the terminal that you want to broadcast.
That's exactly what he's doing.
Using a hydrogen frequency line.
Yeah, through resonance by using the radio frequency.
The anode terminal of the diode, it's a glass diode, was insulated from, isolated from the copper ring by the fact that it's a glass diode and it's in water. So it proves that there's a wireless transmission of potential, the voltage.
Isn't there something called the hydrogen frequency line for communication? They use, I think it's 149.3. I think that's what the hydrogen frequency line is.
I don't know what that is.
It's a communication band, but it's the hydrogen frequency band.
Oh, you mean CB communications?
Yeah, something like that. I think
I heard of that, right? There's a hydrogen band, right?
The hydrogen band. So isn't that something?
Yeah.
Topic
carrier for just about anything.
Yeah, but the atmosphere, like the higher you go, it gets filtered through different in the atmosphere. So it is in the atmosphere. I think you get a layer of hydrogen. Communication can be broadcasted. We breathe is a mixture of a lot of things, but when you go up higher in altitude, they split. It becomes different layers, like how you if you put oil in water, how you see there's two distinct layers of two different elements. The same thing when you go in the atmosphere. The higher you go, the more the particles get refined, and the hydrogen's the lightest element, so it's going to be on the highest level. I've read this somewhere. I know I've read this somewhere.
Hydrogen is the lightest element?
Yeah.
Well, I think
the least amount of mass.
It is the lightest, but I think that oxygen moves quicker.
Quickly.
Molecules. So I think oxygen comes out quicker than hydrogen, but I could be wrong. It might be reverse.
No, you're up. It's crazy here.
I'm not.
Yeah, no, you're back, Bernie. Sorry, you only froze for a second.
But yeah, the oxygen very anomalous behavior.
With radio waves or just any kind of wave.
Yeah, oxygen's fast. I believe that's what those two angled shafts were at the Pyramid of Giza that came out at, I believe it's a 45 and then a 51-degree angle. And the one that's 51 is the oxygen release valve, as well as the other one being the hydrogen release valve. But I could be wrong. I'm working on that right now. I'm building a pyramid. A working one to show what its principle really was. It's not a grave. Did you guys freeze? Or are you still there?
Still there.
Yeah. No, I was just saying the pyramids are not a grave. They're not a tomb. They're not a casket.
They're not a tomb, right?
No, they're a working machine, and I've built. So far, I'm just about finished. I'm working on my wave machine right now. It's small because the model is small, but the principle still is the same. So we'll see if I can get it working or not, or if it even works at all. But I'll unveil that shortly along with my big presentation.
Symbol of geometry.
Say what?
The pyramids are geometric. They have a they serve a purpose revolving around obviously geometry.
Yeah, there was multiple factors in the pyramid. There was the fact that there was an aquifer underneath. The aquifer is made up of piezoelectric crystal. And when the moon would wax and wane, because the River Nile was very close to the pyramid itself, it would put pressure on the piezoelectric crystal, and it would fill the holes with potential voltage, breaking the water molecule and filling the system with hydrogen and oxygen. And as it did so, because it was surrounded by a ceramic tile and the actual building blocks of the pyramid were limestone, they carried a voltage, and it would act as a massive ionic capacitor and would focus its power at the top of the pyramid, opening a portal that allowed you to go through it, and it would work at a certain frequency. So it did a lot more than that. At the base of the pyramid, there was a series of temples that you can heal the human body with. So,
Gerald, I cannot wait to see your.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. It's actually got a working vortex coil in it, a grounding system, a little wave machine. It sits in a pool. It's
toroidal
pyramid itself. That's
how big is it going to be?
I love it.
It's not very big. It's only about a foot tall, give or take. But it's going to charge cell phones. It's going to charge a whole bunch of little devices that I have for free.
You should make it as big as like a Big Tent.
When you're coming out, we are getting together this summer and making.
When I come out there this summer, I'm going to direct you to where I think is an underground pyramid, and we have to prove whether or not it's there. So that'll be interesting.
Brother.
I found one in Canada. I'm telling you, it's there.
Yes, please. I believe you, and that
it's there. We'll find it.
There's several pyramid mountains in the Rockies right by me, so I don't doubt it at all. And an underground one, even better.
What?
Let's do it. And we have Mike's chinchilla, FAraday chinchilla research.
Oh, that looks like a
koala. That's a cool little animal.
Rodent.
It's my daughter's
looks like it's
pet.
part koala.
It does, right? It looks like a little koala.
Like a half koala, half rodent.
Mr. Sushi. Yeah. Sushi, come up here.
You're not supposed to eat the rodent, Mike.
I used to breed rats, nice, and hamsters.
Sushi.
They get out eventually of the cage.
Sushi.
They're cute.
They're fast. This thing's like a kangaroo.
Wow.
Looks like something out of
Hey, sushi.
The gremlin, a gremlin.
Gremlin.
Yeah.
He's a ground gremlin.
Put it in the. What was with the gremlin? You put it in the microwave or in water or something? Then it turns
Put
into
water
a
on
yeah.
monster.
Yeah, you
Turns
put
into a
water on it.
monster.
Or you feed it past midnight and it turns crazy.
Yeah.
You got more than one?
Just one. They're expensive, man. $400 for that little guy.
Really?
Wow.
Can you
They're-
play with it
Where
out
are
of
they
the
native
cage?
to?
What's that?
Can you play with it out of the cage, or does it have to stay in the cage?
Yeah, my daughter takes him out, puts him, brings him into the washroom, and then he can run around like a maniac. The thing,
Nice.
like this
Where they
thing,
grow naturally, those things.
he'll actually run and jump and run across the wall sideways. That's how agile these things are.
That's cool. You should get
Yeah.
that on video.
It does like the full Matrix thing.
Man, you know,
Nice.
we do these podcasts to like hoping to have viewers. The kid, like my kids, do like a dumb video feeding the dog, and they get like 100,000 views. Like, what
Yeah.
the heck? You know,
Yeah.
it's like, you know, like, and it's just like, how do you guys do that? They're like, I'm telling you, like one of my kids
Yeah,
did one of these. Like literally, she was teaching the dog like how to sing.
Oh
Here's
yeah.
a cra- here's a-
If I
here's a
was
cra-
going for views,
Right?
I would do political. I got
chinchilla.
12,000 views on one
The
stream.
chinchilla gets
I'm
a
not into it.
million views. It's the
Chinchilla
chinchilla
sound.
stream. It's what it's all about. Start
Yeah.
with the chinchilla.
Probably.
Yeah, these animals, chinchillas got a lifespan of 27 years,
That's pretty decent for a rodent.
Wow.
which is,
Crazy.
Wow.
yeah,
Very
27
decent
years.
for a rodent.
Well, guys, I hate to bail on everybody.
Yeah, we're going to head out here soon. We've done 2.5 hours.
Wow,
So,
already? It felt like 2.5 minutes.
Yeah.
I'm starting
Right?
to be
For
hungry
sure. That's
again.
what happens when having fun. And
Bill,
yeah,
you're
literally
like me,
2.5
you're
hours,
French. You're
2
always
hours
on.
on my channel almost. It was a pleasure.
I'm going to
Well,
go have
thank
some
you,
cheese and
Gerald.
pickles
Look
before I
forward,
go to bed. I don't know.
Cheese and
forward
pickles.
to seeing your next work and all of you
That
guys'
sounds-
next works.
Great for the stomach.
Yeah, I'm
Cheese
going
and
to finish
pickles.
my presentation. I had to put everything off because of the family situation, but I will
Yeah.
get it done and then I'll present it, Mike. So I got
Yep.
it's about 45 minutes, but it explains my coils, what I'm doing, where I've taken it, and maybe
Yep.
Oh heck yeah, that's what we
a
need.
demonstration. So
Yeah, we'll be
We're
here again
looking for it.
live again Friday
Awesome.
night. At,
awesome. All right, everybody. You guys have a great week. Thanks everybody for watching.
Yep.
And we'll talk to you soon.
Yeah, everybody have a,
You as well, Gerald.
yeah,
Oh,
we'll
bless
be
you.
here.
Take
We'll
it
be
easy,
here
guys.
again. Yeah, we'll
You
be
do.
here again next
Oh.
Friday, Eastern at FAraday Research, and also going to be simulcasting on BurnEye's channel at Crypto Alchemist. So go visit
Right.
him. Got a
Nice
lot
stuff.
of great stuff on his site as well. To the panel, everybody, ladies and gentlemen, thanks a lot for your tuning
Yep.
in, and we'll see everybody next
Thanks
week.
everybody. One more
See
thing.
you.
I love science.
Real science. And
right.
yeah, one last thing is we will be starting, well, every Friday it's Real Science / Free Energy Fridays featuring the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, or sorry, League, got that wrong. League of Extraordinary Inventors, duh. And no sex, it doesn't matter what you self-identify as or were born, male, female, or anything in between. You're welcome at the League of Extraordinary Inventors. But what I was gonna say now I've completely forgot. So oh yeah, Mike, Spy Man remixes. That's what we gotta do. Part 2 is a second show a week, playing your old audios and reacting to them and listening to them, because those are some pretty epic interviews that you did back in the day, and they deserve to hear the light of day again.
Yeah, I got a lot of stuff to go through. It'll take me quite a few days to sort them out. I got a stack of CDs about yay big.
Right,
Some of
one
them
a
work,
week,
some of them don't work, but
we just need one
yeah,
MP3 a
I'll
week.
start going through some of this stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All
I'll
right,
see
well,
what I
thank
could
you all.
dig up, and hopefully I could do it for the show next week. All right, guys, have a great week, and we'll see everybody next Friday.
All right, peace.
Much love.
Take care, everybody.
You as well.
Bye.
Bye. Ta-ta.
Okay. We're off air.
Perfect. All
It's
right.
just me and you.
Later, Mike. We'll catch you. Talk soon. I just got to end it on my stream here, or on mine as well. Or I can do that and hit this. And everybody have a wonderful, blessed night, day, week, and we will see you again on the next one.
Crazy mother. Yeah. It's just Bernie. Hey, Bernie, just like last week, huh?
Weekend at Bernie's.
It won't let me end it. Oh God! All right, come on. Why won't it end?